That's not what I heard.
No, I would never do that.
So what are you doing?
I just got the siren today. It
For what
literally
purpose?
Came from Amazon today.
The wrong person over who had a gun and who does not like police. And he gets out and starts shooting. Guess what? You have no way of defending yourself.
On June 21st, 2021, an off-duty officer who was driving home from work noticed a Jeep flashing amber and white lights speeding through Kenosha, Wisconsin. The officer noticed the Jeep pull up multiple cars with the lights activated and then turn on a siren. The Jeep would pull up behind the cars for a few seconds before driving off. As the off-duty officer attempted to get closer to the Jeep to write down the license plate number and peek at the driver, he found himself the victim of the driver's strange behavior. The Jeep got behind him and turned on the sirens, only to speed off as the officer pulled over. The officer, who was still in uniform, followed the driver and motioned him to pull over and wait for the deputy officer to arrive. A sheriff's deputy arrived on the scene and noticed the off-duty officer standing with the 19-year-old suspect, Sam Sergey Knuth. What follows will make this one of the most bizarre cases I've ever seen.
I'm on my way home, and he's turning this strobe light on, and he's got a siren. He curbs 2 cars, and then blows past them, goes through a red, and then he's just using this little light bar on top here with these sirens.
Okay then.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
I was just driving home. I just got this thing off of Amazon,
What thing?
a siren.
And you try and pull people over?
No,
Well, you followed him a pretty good distance.
I followed him.
Yeah, I heard him all the way from 52.
And you try to curb 2 cars on 52nd Street and use lights and a siren so they pull over and stop. You pull up next to them and then you blow past them.
Got your ID on you?
Down 52nd and I'm on my way home.
Right.
So we're going down 5-2 and then all of a sudden I see this white and yellow flashing light on top of the car. And I'm going along, and all of a sudden I notice this guy's like flying, and he's coming up behind cars and making a move over to the shoulder with the siren, and then they pull over and stop, and then
Does he
would
stop behind him?
Yeah, he would pause and stop, and then accelerate around him and take off with the siren on, and then he would race up behind the next car and make that one pull over and curb, and then same thing, he'd race around it.
Okay.
So then I'm trying to get up on the side of him to see if I could get a look at him. I wrote down his license plate, I turned my radio on, and as I get up next to him, he slows down, pulls behind me, turns the siren on, and I move into the lane next to him, and then he blows past me.
Okay.
So when he came up to a red light, I looked at him, and I'm like, pull over and stop, and then he takes off, and he ran 2 red lights.
Okay. What red lights are you on? This one?
So this one here for sure. And,
Coming northbound or?
So eastbound.
And then into the
he
northbound?
turned red, and then he made the left. And then the other one that he ran was 104th and 52nd.
Okay.
At first, Sam denied pulling over anybody, but had a strange reason for the lights and siren.
With Amazon recently?
A siren.
Why?
I've always wanted one.
For what purpose?
PA system.
To do what?
Talking to it mostly. Kind of had a siren in it, and I didn't really know it had a siren. And I was with it. I do construction, landscaping. That's the light on the top.
What's with the yellow and white bar?
That's amber.
Okay.
That's for construction.
So are you doing construction right now?
No,
So why do you have it on?
because I saw him behind me, and he had his hazards on. He was following me, so I turned him on, and I pulled over. I don't want to get hit.
You got any weapons on you?
No.
Stand up for me. Turn around.
If this wasn't enough madness already, Sam had yet another strange reason for running through red lights.
What's with the red lights? Running the red lights.
What red light?
This one, and then the one on 104th and 52nd Street.
I was like 200, 100 feet maybe before the red light, and
Do you have your siren on when you were going through the red light?
I don't know. I had my horn on, I think.
What horn?
The little like,
The air horn?
Yeah. Because like my brakes are this thing, and like I can't really stop very good on it. So it hit yellow before I was like able to like stop real quick. So I just kind of like hit the air horn, and I don't know. I just got it today.
So it sounds like you tried to pull over 3 people.
No.
That's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that you got behind him, hit your light and your horn, put him to the curb, stop behind him for several seconds, and then sped around him.
No, I didn't do that.
That's not what I heard.
No, I would never do that.
So what are you doing?
I just got the siren today. It
For what
literally
purpose?
came from Amazon today.
You set a whole light bar that's not rigged up.
These strange reasons for his behavior only made the officers more suspicious of Sam. The officers alleged that Sam might have been trying to impersonate a cop, which is not only extremely stupid, but a very serious offense.
I'm literally not trying to impersonate no one.
You know when you're pulling people over with the light flashing, it is impersonating, right?
I wasn't trying to impersonate no one, no. Like, I'm not in I don't have a uniform. I don't have any firearms. I really love you guys. I really honestly do. I'm not trying to impersonate no one.
So what were you going to do with this other light bar that's in here?
That's the other thing. I was going to mount it. I just picked that up from my dad's house. It's from a racing lawnmower that I built for the high school. It used to go on the floorboard. It's orange.
What about these lights up here? They could be construed as, they look like they could strobe, and they're white.
Those are white strobe lights.
You understand where we're going with this, right?
Right, I understand. I really fucked up. I totally get it.
What were you going to pull them over for? Just out of curiosity.
I wasn't trying to pull anybody over. I got it today.
So what were you following them for then?
I was just driving. And I know
Where were you headed to?
Unit Grove. I was just messing with the different sounds on the siren because I live in a residential area, and I thought, like, I don't know. I should have. I don't know. I didn't know where I could really play the thing.
You understand? Okay, so not only is it something that's, I'm just going to straight out say stupid.
Right.
You're not armed, right?
No.
What happens if you try? I'm just saying. I'm not accusing you of anything right now, okay? But what would happen if you tried to pull the wrong person over who had a gun and who does not like police, and he gets out and starts shooting? Guess what? You have no way of defending yourself. Nevertheless, that this is a crime for you impersonating a police officer. You know that, right?
But I'm not trying to impersonate no one.
Everything that is occurring right now is pointing that way. It's not smart.
Yeah.
You're gonna end up getting yourself hurt over something stupid just because you want to play around.
After running a background check, the officers find out that Sam is on probation for a conviction in 2020 for intimidating a victim and disorderly conduct. But that's not all. He was charged with 4 counts of 4th-degree sexual assault, which were all dismissed due to a plea agreement.
If you're on probation for whatever the case is,
And I'm sitting here drawing attention.
you
to
should
myself.
literally be going to work, going home, and that's it. You shouldn't be going to any bars. You shouldn't be going anywhere after whatever. Guys do stupid stuff all the time. We just had a guy yesterday. He was out on probation and whatever else, and the guy decides to go to the bar with his old lady, and guess what? Now he's going to go to prison for 3-4 years because, you know, it's like, just stay at home.
I get it.
I mean, I get you have a life and I get you're 19, but, you
I
know.
work 3 jobs.
Right, I get it, but, you know, at the end of the day, you know, your decisions in the past, you know, brought you to here, so it's like, you just need to stay home, stay out of trouble.
Right.
Noticing his lame excuses aren't working for him, Sam eventually agrees that he was indeed trying to impersonate a cop.
So here's what I think happened, okay? I think you got this new light today, and it's cool. You got a new light, you got a new siren, it's fun.
Yeah.
Then you realize you turn it on and people pull over for you like you're a cop. So you thought, hey, this is kind of fun. I'm going to pull behind them like a cop because you like the cops. That's great. And then, well, maybe I probably shouldn't go far with this, but that was cool, and then kept going.
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Yeah. It's dumb. But I wasn't trying to be a cop. I like you guys. I really do. You guys are awesome, and you guys do good work. Even though I've been arrested, I have never changed my view on you guys at all.
Well, that's fantastic.
I was
but
on the Racine County Sheriff's Explorer post as a kid. I've always dreamt to be. I don't know.
you've always wanted to be a cop.
Yeah.
Just didn't work out for you.
No.
And it happens. Unfortunately,
It
some people
happens.
just doesn't work out. But tonight, you were trying to act like you're a cop a little bit, right? Right? And not, you were like, hey, I'm gonna go full blown here. We're gonna pull someone over, get him out of the ar. But a little part of you, right? You're like, I have a light on, I have a siren, they pulled over for me, it's like I'm a cop right now, right?
And unfortunately, one of those cars was a police car.
And that's why we're here today. So you essentially pulled over somebody as a cop, but you're not a cop. Does that sound right?
I mean, we understand what you're saying, that you're not getting out, you're not IDing people, you're not doing all that, but you can't stop cars out here, man.
I understand.
Especially, you pull somebody over and they think you are a cop. You're not ready for that, are you? Somebody gets out of the car and comes after you, you're not trained for that, right? You're not ready for that, right? And then what happens? And then somebody that doesn't like the cops and they think you are a cop and they get out and they come back after you, what do you think happens?
Gonna get killed.
Maybe.
Hurt.
You never know.
Get hurt.
And that's the problem with people that are not cops acting like they are. You're not trained or prepared for it. See how that's a problem? Not to mention, in the past, there have been people who are trying to pretend they're cops for bad reasons.
Right.
You obviously tonight didn't do anything further than pull behind them like you're doing a traffic stop. But how do we know that in another mile, the next car you pull over, you're like, you know what? They think I'm a cop. I'm going to play this one out further. I'm going to go up and... We don't know. We don't know you. You see how that's a problem? Does that make sense? So you having a little bit of fun tonight with your new light and siren very well could have ended poorly or differently, or had we not stopped you, who knows what could have happened? We don't know.
Could have been seriously hurt, yeah.
Correct.
As the deputy officer warns Sam of the repercussions of his actions, Sam cannot stop smirking, thinking he can justify his creepy and dumb behavior. But from his previous charges and the current incident, something tells me that his criminal career is just getting started. Now that he's played a cop, it's time for Sam to play a prisoner.
Am I under arrest or detained? I'm detained.
You're detained.
Yeah.
You work in the morning? What time do you work in the morning? 7.
I'm gonna be at the shop at 7.
What's that?
I'm gonna be at the shop at 7.
Okay. So I'm gonna be honest with you. We're calling your PO right now, and we're gonna let them know that you were using the siren. We're gonna let them know that you were at a bar. I let them know that you weren't drinking, that you blew zeros, and that you've been cooperative. But we're also gonna do a summons. As of right now, it's just gonna be a summons for impersonating a police officer.
Which means
It's a misdemeanor. Okay? Your PO, I don't know what your PO is going to do, if he's going to want to hold you or not, that's up to him. But I'm being honest with you because you've been honest and cooperative with us.
absolutely.
Okay?
Just try to work with me.
Yep. So let's just have a seat back on the bumper. Once we hear back, we'll let you know, okay? 10-4. So they decided they're going to hold you. So
Well, like saving grace is not a weekend, so you don't have to sit there for 3 days before you get.
As a lover of cops, Sam really hit the jackpot. He got to talk to a bunch of them, ride in their car, and even got an extended tour of the police facility. It was only his bad luck that this fake cop managed to run into a real cop and got caught.
you have a seat at that brown chair. Step up, we'll go over there. Straight ahead of that silver desk on your right.
Finally, Sam was detained and charged with impersonating a police officer, a misdemeanor. He was cited for violation of a red traffic light, an unlawful siren or horn. Sam was given a $2,500 signature bond and was held in Kenosha County Jail on a probation hold. If you enjoyed this video, watch this one, and don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye.